that. Let's get down to Ondo State now, where we'll speak with Ayo Fadaka, who is the Director of Publicity in the People's Democratic Party. Morning, and thank you for joining us. Well, we've had the comments from your candidate in that election, but the press statement from the national leadership of the party says they're satisfied with the performance of their candidate. Is PDP at cross purposes now?
No. Good morning. Good morning, Chamberlain.
Morning.
I'm amazed at the comments or the press release from the National Secretary of the party issued by Olusoga. I must say that Olusoga did not get in touch with us before he used that statement. He's not abreast of developments and issues that dominated that election. And as such, I must say that he spoke for himself and not for the party in that instance. As a party, our position on the election is very clear. The election was poorly executed, badly managed, and and the outcome cannot be said to be a proper reflection of what an election should be. In fact, it's a mockery of an entire process.
Give us specifics. What are you complaining about?
What I'm complaining about?
Specifically.
Yes. For instance, in Ile-oluji local government, where a candidate comes from, elections did not hold in 2 wards. And the excuse for that election, for election not holding in those places, is because they say that their adult staff were not ready to go on field. And aside that, about 42 units, the result of about 42 units were cancelled by INEC for no explicable reasons. And again, in some other local governments, there was an absolute lack of security. There was no security presence at all. For instance, in a place in Idori, where more than 3/4 of the local government is in villages and farm settlements, the security that the federal government never went beyond the metropolis. And this gave room for the goons of the Labour Party to falsify figures, to attack local residents in those places, and to bring figures that do not represent the electoral desires of the people to the collation center. And in so many other places too.
All right, but you won in most, the results that showed, even the Labour Party candidate that was here, I talked about your thoughts on Ile-oluji, Ijosan, Irele. Those are all rural areas, and you didn't lose in those areas. So what could the complaint be?
For instance, in Ijosan, there were reports of a serving commissioner in Minico's government stealing the ballot. He took the ballot box out and it was later retrieved for him, and the said ballot box was still taken into collation and the results counted. Can you be said that there's an election in that place?
But you could have raised objection to the electoral commissioner. Did you raise any objection to that?
Of course, objections were raised. Objections were raised. In every instance, there were objections. And as I speak to you, we're busy collecting our papers, collecting information as regards how that election was managed across the state for the next action that the party will possibly take.
What do you say to those who say there was substantial compliance in this election, and that is what the Electoral Act seeks?
That what?
There was substantial compliance with these elections.
Well, those say so, they have their reasons for saying that. But one thing is certain: every citizen of a state which represents a single constituency has the right to cast his or her ballot in that election. If people are looking for selective substantial compliance, as they are now saying, it is now to say that no, the entire state as a constituency does not matter in expressing his electoral desires. And that in itself is faulty. It's faulty thinking. One thing I'm sure is that there was no level playing ground in this election. For instance, A commissioner serving Mimiko's government, Mio Sule, and the chairman of the local government committee were arrested for being in possession of arms on election day. And what did we have before of the election? These same people that were arrested and paraded for trying to compromise the elections were released, and they still went ahead to carry out their nefarious activities.
Did you lose in our?
Do people vote with guns and machetes? Did you call that compliance?
Mr. Fadaka?
We are disappointed outrightly. And I'm not saying this because INEC did not declare us. We are disappointed outrightly about the conduct of that election. We are totally dismayed that both security and INEC
we get that point, but
could compromise the command of the president that there must be a free and fair election here. The
okay.
election we have in Ondo State is neither free nor fair.
Did you lose in our?
We did not. Yes, we lost the war.
I mean
But ACN won in a war.
ACN won in our.
Oh, sure.
Okay. All right. What's the next line of action for you?
Well, like I told you, the party has set up a team of professional investigators. We are going to assess the paper. Every detail that went to this election, and in due course, we take the next appropriate action.